Hi guys, I'm filming this after the review, but of course you're seeing it right at the start. This is my first ever video of the channel. I really hope you enjoy it. Leave comments of what you want me to see. And yeah, this review is spoiler heavy, spoiler filled. So if you haven't seen the Snyder Cut, please I recommend that you leave, watch it and come back. If you have, then I hope you enjoy the review. Bye guys. Hey guys, so today I'm reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League. It literally came out a few days ago, and I've got to say, it is a crime that the Justice League was released, because this film is 20 times better than that cut. Now, going into Zack Snyder's Justice League, I had seen the two trailers that were put out for this film. I'm not going to lie to you, it did set my expectations high, especially as I love Man of Steel and aspects of Batman v Superman. I know that Zack Snyder is capable of making great DC content. And the trailers for this were just magnificent. Everything Zack Snyder's about, the visuals, obviously the music, and yeah, it really set the bar high for me. And I've got to say, every expectation that I had was exceeded. This film is just beyond anything the fans that have wanted the Snyder Cut could ever ask for. It's just perfect. There are a few tweaks and nitpicks that we'll go through in this review, but for the most part, everything that we got in 2017 is just so much better. So you all might be thinking, well, the plot's the same, so what's really the point? We've already got this. Well, let me just give you a bit of context. Zack Snyder, I believe, from what I've heard, had shot most of this film. He was given a $70 million budget when this film was announced and it was actually happening, to add additional scenes, and I believe he only shot an extra 30 minutes, and I believe that's for the Joker. I'm not sure what else it is, but I'm pretty sure it's the nightmare scene at the end, which we will get to. And yeah, so that was all that he added. Everything else, I believe, he shot back then, before, sadly, he had to leave the project as a death in the family occurred, which is very unfortunate for him, and I do feel for him with that. And at the end, there's a lovely message for Autumn, which is his daughter that tragically committed suicide, which is a very beautiful way of, you know, Zack giving his respect for her into this film. So for everyone not wanting the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League, going, oh, it's just cut scenes, there's nothing new, we've already got this film. Those cut scenes make all the difference. Those cut scenes make this film, for me, the best DCEU film, followed very closely behind Man of Steel. This film, everything that was edited out, is so necessary for the plot and so necessary to make you care about these characters. For me, let's go through the characters. For me, the best character in this film, surprisingly, is Cyborg. I feel so bad for Ray Fisher and how he got done so dirty by the people at Warner Brothers, the executives at Warner Brothers, because I feel his pain, because of course you'd want this released. You are the star of the show. You are shining. You're showing what you can do and bring to the team. And in that Justice League version, it's honestly laughable now. I don't think I could ever go back and watch that cut of the film, because he got done so dirty. They gave him his little booyah line, and he didn't do anything for the rest of the film. If I remember correctly, which I probably don't because I haven't put it on in so long, I think he just gets cut in half at the end or something like that. With this, it fleshes out his character, it makes you care. It sets him up all the way from when he's playing football, and it shows you that although he's instead of being the typical jock character and the typical, you know, football captain, he's actually got a really good heart as well. And it's subtly shown in a scene where his mum, who tragically passes in this film as well, contributing to the character, she's at the school as Cyborg is hacking into the school system to give his friend better grades due to his friend having a death in the family as well. He's just a good heart, a good guy, and that's what makes him a really, really important part of this film. One of my favourite scenes in the film, in fact, is a scene where Cyborg is understanding his powers. There's this beautiful Zack Snyder visual of him inside the digital world, and he's keeping this eye on this mother, this single mother, and you know she's got a crappy job. She's not earning a lot of money, and she'll still pass through the subway or wherever and give money, what little she has, to people that she feels need it more. And Cyborg can see her struggle and her good heart, and he actually gives her loads of money for her and her kid. And that's that. We didn't even get a scene like that in the Whedon cut. It was all cut out, and I really, really don't understand why. And that, just for me, is one of the best scenes in the entire film. I just feel it adds so much to that Cyborg character and really makes you feel about where he goes from there. My second favourite, although I don't feel is perfect, is The Flash. Now, don't get me wrong, some of his jokes, they don't land the way they should. Some of it comes off as quite cringe. Not as cringy as people make out, but part of me feels that that's part of Zack Snyder's view of the character. He's supposed to be a bit awkward. He's supposed to be not normal around other human beings, other random human beings, because he doesn't know how to cope with that. He's going so fast all the time, and he doesn't know how to act normal. The only human he acts normal around is his dad, who's in prison for falsely accused murder of Barry Allen's mum. And that's the only person he can act like himself around. And it's so complex, and it's really good storytelling from Zack. So, although I'm not going to let him get away with some of these jokes that he wants us to laugh at, in my eyes, he's acting like that and acting all jokey because that's the only way he knows to act around people, where he doesn't come across as weird and different. And his dynamic in this film isn't all cringy jokes, isn't, oh, I'm going to run in, push someone and run away. It isn't, I'm going to fall on Wonder Woman's. We don't get any of that in this film. We don't get all of that Joss Whedon stuff in this film. We get the Flash when it comes down to high pressure situations. We get the Flash going and saving people, clearing debris out of the air, pushing parademons so fast that you'd think their head flew off, accessing the Speed Force, turning back time. We would never have got this if it wasn't for the fans that wanted the Snyder Cut. It's just incredible to me that all of this was disproved and just thrown away by the executives at Warner Brothers. It baffles my brain. And I'm just so glad that the fans gave Zack the opportunity to show us what he's always wanted this film to be. So yeah, Cyborg, The Flash, Wonder Woman is probably my third favourite. She is amazing. She is purely Amazon warrior. If you compare the Wonder Woman in this film to the Wonder Woman we got in Wonder Woman 1984, which is not that good, but that's another video, you wouldn't think they're the same person. This Wonder Woman is a warrior. This Wonder Woman doesn't just muck about and just, stand there flirting with Bruce Wayne. Well, there's a little bit of that in here, but that's like one scene. This Wonder Woman, when it comes to fight scenes, you would never, ever want to mess with her. She kills so many bad guys in this film. She does a fantastic job. Gal Gadot is a great Wonder Woman. When she's given good material and good stuff to do, this is why Zack Snyder should carry on his version of these characters, in my opinion. She got the final blow on Steppenwolf, slicing off his head. in a brutal scene that shows how good the Justice League are. Just so much better than the version that we got back in 2017. Now, the rest of the characters are pretty, not average, but they're good, but they can be better. The next one I'd put under Wonder Woman is Superman. Now, Superman's a bit different than my opinions on Aquaman and Batman. Superman is amazing, he's great, but it's just that fact that he's not in a lot of this film when you think about the runtime. The runtime is 4 hours long, and obviously Superman died in Batman v Superman, which they show at the start of this film. And I'll quickly touch on that scene. It's so beautiful to me to show how devastating that death was and what it meant to this film. This context wasn't given to us in the Justice League. We see Superman die and his death cry, which I'm not sure, I hope a lot of the audience understand what that was. As he's dying, his final breaths shockwave across the world, and that is what accesses and awakens the mother boxes, because the Kryptonian on Earth, Superman, was the only reason they wouldn't awake, because they know that that's a defender. You will not beat him, you will not conquer that world unless the Kryptonian is gone, which he is at the end of Batman v Superman. So they show us that, and yeah, I thought this portrayal of Superman is as good as he is in the other two Zack Snyder films. I think in Batman v Superman, he was okay, he was decent, he was good enough. I love Henry Cavill in the role. In Man of Steel, which is such a good film, he played it perfectly, and that Superman is back here with us today. The black suit is really cool. It's a really good addition to this film. I wish there was a bit more reasoning behind the black suit. It just sort of looked like, which was a fantastic scene where he's going past all of the costumes from Man of Steel. I just wish there was a scene that explained why he wanted to use that black suit, because there wasn't really an explanation for it. Like, it's cool, it looks great, but I just wish there was an explanation or something to why he's using that, other than he does it in the comics. But yeah, the action from Superman when he shows up at the end is great. That was good in the Justice League version, I'll give it that, especially his return, but that's all here in Zack Snyder's version, but even better. That action is made even better. It's grander. There's a more diverse use of his powers. When he shows up at the end and blocks that axe hit from Steppenwolf, it's tremendous. And his line, "not impressed," is just great. When he freezes the axe, which is cool to see him use that power, and breaks it and cuts off his horn, you feel why the mother boxes would have awakened when he died, because you can see that he's just unbeatable when he's alive. Like, you will not win if Superman is there. So yeah, Superman is great in this film. It's just the fact that he's not in a lot of it. Now, Aquaman is about as decent as you could get in this film. I like the direction that James Wan went with his character in his solo film, because Jason Momoa is a very funny guy, and they tapped into his comedic sides, and I like that direction a lot. I really like that version of Aquaman. We get that here, but not a lot. He's a bit more serious, which is very Zack Snyder. He's great, he still has some good funny lines, but everyone in this film is a bit serious. I'd like to seen that more comedic side of him in this film. Other than that, his action scenes are great. He did get the blow to Steppenwolf at the end first, where he stabs him through the chest, which is a great visual. He's decent, he's very good, but I prefer that comedic side to him. Sadly for me, which was the best Batman I've ever seen, Ben Affleck's Batman in Batman v Superman was just so brutal. The action scenes were great. Was just good here, he was good. He didn't have a standout moment, he didn't have a standout fight. He was a bit more slow in this one, it felt, which is easily... Zack Snyder could have easily worked around that, put a stunt double in there for a great action scene, but it's good. It's good. He uses the grappling hook. He has a couple of good moments. He jumps down steps on the parademons. He's just fine. He doesn't have a standout moment. I like that he's, assembling this team. As he said, he made that promise to Superman on his grave. I like that. But other than that, he's just fine. I'll just quickly touch on Steppenwolf. Of course, he's your generic bad guy, monster CGI creating thing, but he is better than he was in the original version in 2017. His look is a bit more clean, a bit more exciting with the moving armor pieces and the spikes. His face is a bit more alien, a bit more human with the eyes, and his background, you learn just enough so that you care about the stakes. You learn just enough about why he's here, why he's taking this world. There must have been, one line in that Justice League version about why he was there. In this film, there is plenty of information and one-on-one conversations with him and Darkseid as to why he's there, why he's taking Earth. And yeah, I just thought Steppenwolf was a lot better in this film and had some great action moments, especially at the start on the Mascara, when he's throwing horses around, chopping Amazons in half. It's just brutal. And that is another thing I want to say. I'm so glad that Zack Snyder rated this 15 instead of a 12. It just allowed him to, tap into that dark DC vibe that he's got for his version of these characters, which was very, very smart from Zack. One last thing before I end this review, the epilogue. This sets up so much stuff. We'll talk about the original post-credit scene we've already seen in Justice League with Deathstroke and Lex Luthor. It's cool. I like that they changed it so that it's not the whatever it's called, the villain version of Justice League. I like that it's changed to just Deathstroke, just the name reveal of Bruce Wayne that Lex gives to him, which would have set up the Ben Affleck Batman film that we were gonna get, which I hope that we get, but we can talk about that at the end. And then we move on to the nightmare scene. Now, we got a great nightmare scene in Batman v Superman, but that one was very action-based, and that it did well, but we're like, well, what's going on? What's going on? I want context. And this actually improves Batman v Superman's viewing for me. Like, I will go back and watch Batman v Superman, and I will enjoy it more. It's not the best film ever, don't get me wrong, but you can enjoy it more because you can see where Zack's trying to get to, and where he should have been able to get to. So this nightmare scene for me is amazing. You've got a really mixed, interesting apocalyptic team of the Justice League. You've got Mira as Arthur has been killed by Darkseid. You've got Batman, obviously, Cyborg, the Flash with his nightmare armoured look, which is really cool. I really prefer that look. It's way more interesting. And he seemed a bit more serious, which is the Flash that I would have preferred to get. And yeah, he showed up in Batman v Superman in that nightmare section of the film, and it just adds even more context to that. And you get Deathstroke as well. Deathstroke is part of their team, which is interesting. He's got like this Mohican, it just looks really cool. I'd love to see more of Deathstroke in the DCEU, especially with Ben Affleck's Batman. And yeah, he was just cool to see there with the team. Now the bit that I was waiting for, I saw this in the trailer, it was teased at the end. Jared Leto's Joker. Say what you want, I know a lot of you really don't like that version of the Joker. I will never understand it, because for me, Jared Leto's Joker is such an interesting take on the character. Yes, he had damage written on his forehead in Suicide Squad. Yes, there were bits that were a bit cringe. But it's really about Jared Leto's performance. I believe that he's insane. I believe that I don't know what's coming out of his mouth next. He's so unpredictable, and he's still unpredictable even in the nightmare scene. Now, Zack Snyder improved his look. I didn't even mind that look of the Suicide Squad stuff. Of course, the tattoos and that is a bit much, but I thought it was a different take on the character. If you like if you're one of them people that go, he's not like the Heath Ledger Joker and Suicide, he's crap, just go watch The Dark Knight. Like, cool, you don't like it, Stop crapping on it. Just go watch that film if you prefer that version. I like that we switched it up for the DCEU and we got another take on the Joker. A more, gangster, rolling with security, in clubs, just shooting people because he can. Like, that's an insane version and different take on the Joker that I didn't mind at all. But that's Suicide Squad. Here he has a new look, a way more comic accurate look. It's not obviously not the purple suit or anything, but he's got the long hair, he's got the messy red mouth. He just looks really, really cool. And I love the SWAT vest he's got on. It has loads of police badges, so you can tell he's just shot up a bunch of SWAT officers and just collected their badges, which is really, really neat. And his whole dialogue with Ben Affleck's Batman, which I've been waiting for so long, is just so interesting. I love the idea that Zack puts in this, and it's so interesting, and you want to see where it goes from there. About this reality wouldn't have even existed if Ben Affleck's Batman had the guts to die and sacrifice himself. I like that. I like Joker trying to get in his head and make him feel guilty. I really, really like this conversation. And then he goes on to get inside his head and get under his skin, or try to at least, about how he killed Robin. It's just great stuff. It's really, really interesting stuff. And Batman's comeback is even better, even more interesting. And it's such a Zack Snyder version of Batman, who's older, clearly has crossed that line. That's what they were going for this Batman. And it's such a great line that you can really picture him saying, where he's like, well, when Harley Quinn died in my arms, bleeding to death, she made me promise to kill you slowly. And you need to see that scene for yourself to understand how great it is. It's really good dialogue, and it's interrupted by Superman. Now, we know for sure now, when Barry Allen in Batman v Superman, in the flashback, goes, Lois is the key, Lois is the key. It's clear why now. Superman has turned to evil. It's evil Superman. I believe Zack Snyder was going into the Injustice route. Maybe not fully, but definitely taking inspiration from that. And Joker's laughing in the background when he shows up. It's just great. Ben Affleck's Batman wakes up, realising it was just a dream, goes outside, and we see Martian Manhunter, who was set up previously in the film. Has a great look. I really liked his cameo. I just want to know why he's only now revealing himself. I want to see where it goes. And that's what we'll end this review on, is #restore the Snyderverse. The fans that made this possible have proven that anything can happen inside comic book movies, inside filmmaking. If you demand something enough and it's approved finally after all this time, you can do it again. This film is clearly amazing. It's clearly great. Look at the scores. Go watch reactions and reviews on YouTube for it. People like it. Of course there will be the few that are still hating and still, the Justice League one is just the same and all of that. You'll always get haters. People that actually open their eyes and watch this and see what Zack Snyder intended, they know that the Snyderverse is it needs to happen. It's set up so strongly here. We can make it happen. You can make it happen. Just put your support online, tweet, comment, everything. Rate your films on IMDb. Whatever you can do to make this thing happen, at least try. As Ben Affleck's Batman says in this film, just need a little bit of faith. So yeah, faith that the Snyderverse is restored. And yeah, I will be giving this film a 9 out of 10. It is a great film. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend that you check it out, because although it's 4 hours, it will fly by for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.